Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning. Hello, hello. Come on in. Say hey when you get here. As always, I am excited to get with you today. So I hope you are amazing and I hope you are ready to rock it out. Come on in, say hello in the chat. Come on in. Today, I have good things in store for you guys. I am super stoked about today because this topic of protecting your peace is such a big one. It is deep and it is beautiful. I, of course, have a story around why we're here today, and I'm going to tell you that. But I am super stoked to get with you. So come on in. Say hey in the chat. Would you guys come on in and say hey in the chat? I would love to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Lori. Hello. Hello. Come on in. I see a bunch of you coming on. Say hey when you get here. There you are. Hello, Patricia. Come on in. Yes, happy holidays. Gosh, I can't believe it. All right, so, very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, today, so many good things. I've just to like as we're talking about protecting our peace today, I just need to find my ground for a minute because I have so much energy flowing through me that I just need to calibrate my oh, I get so emotional. So like I have to calibrate my voice. I have to calibrate to my channel. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, actually, we are in the midst, some of you are joining me. We are in the midst of a 21-day challenge, 21 days of transformation. And I have to tell you, this is like the third time I've run this challenge, and everyone is a little different because here I am, I'm bringing you guys on my walk outside. It's like 6 degrees out. I'm in the midst of a lot of downloads. And I was walking through my kitchen last week when we were kind of at the start of this journey. We're on day 11 today. And I was walking through the kitchen and I heard these words because you guys know I have very strong guidance. And it was protect your peace. And I was like, yeah, I am totally doing that, right? That's something I'm really committed to doing. And it's been an evolution, to be really honest. And I have more on that later. But it's been this evolution. And so then I was scrolling online later and it popped up again, protect your peace. And I'm like, okay, you've got my attention. And then I talked about it on the new group. And there was a few of you, pop, pop, pop. I was thinking the same thing, pop, pop, pop. And so it's been percolating in me in the last 7 days-ish, more than that probably, about should I do a master class on protecting your peace, right? And for me, it really is it's an energetic shift. It's a becoming. And it is something that when we really step into what it means to step into that peaceful place, it's a vibrational match to your manifestation journey. It's a vibrational match to your prosperity. And most importantly, it's a vibrational match to your personal power, your most empowered self, you standing as the most in your goddess creator shoes. It's that. And so we're going to walk through a couple things today. I've got some things that I want to highlight because egos and minds like to be run in stealth mode as it relates to how we're operating and what we're vibrating and how we are energetically and why we're manifesting that which we are manifesting in our life. Egos and minds like to run in stealth mode. There's nothing earth shattering about this, but I want to highlight some things for you to think about that I think are really important as we look to create our highest, most coherent, resonant vibrational state, whether we are a seeker to a luminary that's, That's the journey we're really on. So I want to highlight some of those things. Those I always say stinking thinking, right? It's like I want to highlight the thoughts that we think about this. And then I want to give us, I have three really juicy, good things that you can implement even today, you guys, that will help you protect your peace and come into a higher resonance, a higher vibrational alignment when you do. So I'm all about this quantum path to our personal power, right? When it comes to this. So, so for those of you that are new to me, welcome. Say hi in the chat if you're here, by the way. I see a bunch of you guys on, but say hi in the chat. It is wonderful to have you here. So I want to say something. I want to say something. Like when I put out a class on how to manifest your best reality, how to quantum leap, all those things, it's like the world is all abuzz, right? We're all about it. But when I put out a class like how to love yourself into your alignment or how to protect your peace, this is, for all practical purposes, a very soft, emotional topic. And your mind, so if you're here or you're watching this on replay, know this is so meant for you because the masses don't, they go, well, wah, wah, wah. Like that doesn't like excite me much because to protect my peace, that sounds like I might have to put some work in. It sounds like, there might be some emotional, there might be some emotional like things to work through. So this isn't a hot topic, but I'm about to make it one for you guys because I I have a lot to say about this that is going to make beautiful sense to those of you that resonate with this. And if you're here, you're meant for it. I want to not just make it a hotter topic for you, but I want to have us step into it in as if it's like this reverent, beautiful, sacred place, my peace, my peace. And today, I want peace, your inner peace, your emotional peace, your mental peace, I want that to be a place of like you can walk in to it with choice and with intention because I really want this for you. I really want this for you. And just like along the track of self-love and appreciation, how I've jammed on about that, like gotten really in the weeds with you guys about the power of self-love and appreciation. I feel the same way about this. So it's another slice of that. And I like to say, like this work that I bring to the world and I bring to you guys and the things that we do together, it's like a crystal, right? This work is a crystal. It's got lots of facets. And this is a slice that helps you, um, you know, split hairs and be even a little bit more specific about what you want to create in the world. And so if you think that and you can buy into the fact that self-love and appreciation is a vibrational match to your divine worth, and that's a vibrational match to your power, then you can eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner too, because your peace is a vibrational match to your prosperity, right? Your peace is a vibrational match to your alignment, to your coherence, your peace. For those of you that join me on Heart Breath on these most recent Sunday nights, right? That peace is a vibrational match to such profound alignment, such profound coherence. And when we're in that kind of alignment, moment to moment, day to day, and we feel more in, I want to address control for a second, but when we feel more in management and a choice with it, it's like, what's on the other side of that? Oh my gosh, everything that I want is on the other side of that. Because there's no amount of chaos and there is no amount of noise and there's no amount of, I would even say, like split energy around any topic, whether it's love, joy, purpose, health, freedom, money, all the things. There's no amount of split energy, not peaceful, that is vibrational match to manifesting that which you desire. And yes, Lori, the masses are into the fast track. They're into the quick fix, and I get that. Yeah. So, and yes, these subtle alignments, right? You said I like those words. These subtle alignments are like the facets of the crystal. So I want to get into the embodiment of this today, because it is a quantum pathway. Personal peace is a quantum pathway to personal power. So like let that just resonate with your mind for a minute. It's like, because here's the thing. We tend to think that peace is something that we have to um, like go find. And the truth is, it's something we choose, it's something we activate, it's something that's here in your right now moment. So I want to back up for a minute. So I am, well, I want to share my, I want to share my story a little bit. I want to share with you guys this. Some of you guys heard me talk about this, but like was, I had adrenal fatigue at one point in my life. Yes, I did. And I can remember when I think of adrenal fatigue, and raise your hand if you know, if you're familiar with that. So here I am, let me just set the stage, because you guys will think that light workers, light leaders, like we always have it all together. You know what I mean? And we're evolving. It's called like we're this like they call it this like wounded healer or heal the healer work. And as I teach the work, I'm also a student of it, but I'm also really fierce about my own becoming. So let me just say this. However, there's a photo of my son and I on Mother's Day when he was about 4 or 5. He's 22 now. And I had just been diagnosed with really severe adrenal fatigue. Like really, like so severe. I'm more of a natural kind of person. And my naturopath said to me, you're so adrenally fatigued that your levels are so low that I'm this close to referring you out to an endocrinologist. And I was like, whoa. And now there's a huge story of my unfolding, right? That would tell you like the details of probably why I was there. But I can tell you that I was not peaceful in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it was like I was finding myself really caught in um, a lot of hustle in my business, a lot of tolerations in my marriage at the time, a lot of holding my breath, a lot of staying too long in a second job. I was coaching the whole time, but I had been doing social work as well for a period of time. And I stayed too long in that. And so there was like all these things that I was choosing in my life. And here's me. I'm good at hustle. I'm good at rising. I'm good at handling a lot of things. I am good at even sometimes looking happy on the outside, but suffering on the inside. I am good at waiting, hoping, wishing that it's going to get better someday, right? Instead of like really taking a good look and saying, what am I willing to do? So I'm not here to tell you what exactly you need to do today, but I'm going to give you some things that I think are some of the biggest gateways and the biggest door openers for you. If you're listening to this, that will help to clarify not only your frequency, but your choices along the unfolding path for you. Because once I started looking, and I'm telling you, it's a journey. So, I mean, when I tell you that my son was about 5-ish, and he's 4 or 5, and he's 22 today, right? You can do the math on that. And at some point, I started to make sure that I was choosing me on a deeper level. because the work always deepens. People say, Lori, how long do I have to do this self-love work for? And I'm like, oh, just forever. No big deal. You guys, who wants to sign up for that, right? Everybody thinks that it is a place to get to or a place to go. And I'm here to say I just want to remind you it's an unfolding. And so the darkness will show itself to be cleared. And one layer at a time, your guidance will show you what needs to be recalibrated as it relates to your protecting your peace as you go. And the fact that we're here today is 100% like step one in that journey, and probably more than that. You guys have been hanging around me for a while, right? So, so if you're joining me just for this Protect Your Peace, awesome. If you are rocking it out with me on the 21-day challenge, awesome. If you want to come with me for the 21-day challenge and you're listening to this later, you can still jump on. People are playing catch up on the group and it's really been awesome. So really good at I'm really good at not protecting my peace, and I got really good at finally protecting my peace. But I want to blow this up just a little bit because here's what the mind believes. And I want to give this to you guys like kind of on the head of a pin today. Jamie, this resonates with me. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm going to just read what you just wrote. Jamie says this resonates so deep with me. I have not had peace for a long time. And once I realized I could not survive on this hamster wheel any longer, I let go and my peace has been slowly returning. We're going to even deepen this. This has been also turned on my vibes, my sinks, and my light back on. Exactly, right? Okay. So this is the context. And it's time for another layer of showing up for ourselves. That's what I have to say. So these the mind, your beautiful mind, your beautiful ego, right? We so believe that protecting our peace, tell me in the chat what you think protecting your peace means, but we so believe that protecting our peace means walls. We so believe, and I'm not saying it's not some walls, but we so also believe that protecting our peace means just like saying no, gotta say no, gotta say no, I gotta say no, right? I gotta put up like um I gotta put up these walls so people can't get in. Like that's what it means. I have to shut out. So we equate like protecting our peace with actually shutting out. And raise your hand if that resonates, because it's really like one of the it's like, how do I fix this? When we're feeling really like challenged or we're feeling dysregulated or we're feeling like the noise is too much. Yes, you guys are raising your hand. Yes, yes. Yes. When we're feeling like super challenged and we're feeling like too much noise, too much dysregulation, too much, too much, too much. Like I always have this experience of there's not enough of me to go around, right? Oh my God, it's complete chaos, right? So it's like that. Yes, yes, Charlotte. It's yes. Focus amidst the chaos, a different focus. So our mind believes, so in that moment, we're like, I have to shut the world out. But as we put that wall up, we have to understand that like we're still not peaceful within. We still aren't lit. Does the wall light us up? Not necessarily. So I'm not saying that we don't need a boundary, and I'm not saying that we don't need to say no. I'm saying those are step one activities, which sometimes you got to do that, you know? But I also want you to realize that a continual shutting out to find your peace isn't really true peace. It's much more reactive. And I want to give you some ideas about that so that you can catch yourself. Am I shutting out to find my peace? Because reactive is not a vibrational match to peaceful. Does that make sense? So this is a lot of you guys, because obviously we're not on a one-on-one session here, but this is like a lot of you guys being like, let me observe myself for a minute. So can I see myself in that? Okay. The next thing that the mind believes, that your ego believes, is we think that peaceful is passive. right? So if I'm one of the reasons why this call is, or this class is not flooded, right? That peaceful, we think it's passive, and it's really far from it. I want you to imagine for a minute that when you turn your attention to the true light of peace, that is a vibrational match to the quantum field, that is a vibrational match to 100% like coherence, that is like my heart is breathing me kind of peace. When you look at the frequency of unwavering worthiness, you feel that frequency as I talk about it. When we look at like this crystal, I'm a little blurry over there. When you look at this crystal, you can imagine that this could represent peace, right? In its integrity and its structure, in its radiance. And we could look at this and say, well, that's just glorious and resonant and light filled. But we wouldn't say this is passive, it's doing nothing. We would say this piece is everything. So the reason I bring this up is because it's real easy to discount the idea that I need to create this piece from within, but it's passive, so I don't feel like I'm doing anything. And then we discount it. And the mind skips over and gets into what again? Hustle, grind, giving ourselves away at the expense of ourselves, etc., pouring in, staying too long, not putting ourselves first. I mean, it's like this constant dysregulation. Our nervous system goes on, it's in overdrive and it's frying. So peaceful is highly active, and it's one of the highest vibrational choices that we can make as humans, as women, as most of you are women in my circle. It's one of the highest vibrational choices that you can make to be a vibrational match to your power. So let's take it one more step. If you're standing in true peace, goddess infused peace, does that feel passive? No, that feels empowered. So, but our mind believes, does this make sense to you guys? Raise your hand if this resonates. Your mind believes it's passive, so you skip. You're like, nope, I don't need to find my peace today. I need to get stuff done. I need to put up the walls. I need to. Outside of myself, outside of myself, outside of myself. I'm racing, I'm trying, I'm pushing, I'm juggling, I'm managing, and at some point we're like, yeah, at some point we need to wake up, and that's why we're here today talking about this. Okay. The third issue, the third thing that your mind believes is that we think peace is a place to get to, or it's a place that we arrive at when after chaos. So my brain thinks like this. You guys, every point I'm making is because I've had this, I've had this experience. But this is one that I find myself, whoopsie, this is one I find myself actively like in sometimes. I just had Thanksgiving. Now I'm gonna just talk way up here about some like minutia, right? So this isn't like the deeper stuff, but I just found myself at Thanksgiving. And then I found myself, and then we had Tim's birthday, and then we had some things going in between. And then I've got the 21-day challenge going on, and I've got this going on and that going on, and and I've got to pick up Maya from the airport and take her back. And I mean, just like this stuff, right? And I found myself saying, I just need to get through. Raise your hand if you think that. I just need to get through Saturday and then I'll be able to. Yeah. And I am very wired for that, even honestly, today. This is something I'm working on actively. I've done so much work on this, and we think it's a place we get to after the chaos. So as I observe my chaos, my peace is on the other side, and it's this place I'm constantly chasing. And I have to bring myself back to, this is not the place I'm constantly chasing. That is my mind's illusion, Lori. Stay present. Wake up, goddess. You get to have peace right here. It's not this place that we get to after the chaos or the thing or the Christmas or the thing or the work the work thing or the I can hear I literally, guys, I literally have said in the last couple weeks, I just need to get through. I just need to get through. So I'm here to blow that up because as I spew it, I know it's not truth. And I have to be in, I call it the goddess observation deck, right, you guys? We call it the goddess observation deck around here. We have to get to this place where we are on the goddess observation deck, watching ourselves do ourselves so that we can be in a place of awakening. And that really is, we're all standing on the goddess observation deck together in these times, in these groups, and in these like in this work. But it's like the awakening for my piece is on the other side. And that is where I step into that quantum pathway for my most peaceful, most powerful self. So, which leads me to number four. And we think, oh, and we think that peace is something to protect. Ooh, I got you on this one. So totally, didn't I? So I call this class Protect Your Peace, right? Protect your peace. Because that essentially, I'm wordsmithing here, is what we're doing. But feel this. If we feel like our peace is something we need to protect, we're reactive. We are reactive. So, at the level of mind, protect your peace sounds like it's spot on. And it is for the level of mind. But there is an evolutionary becoming for you that I want to hold space for. And it is just that to shift from peace that we need to protect to becoming the peace, to really embodying peace. And that's what I want to talk about today is really like to become peaceful is to radiate that. And also, we need to live our life and we need to make choices. And we're going to talk about some of those choices today in the name of deep self-love and appreciation. But for a minute, I want you to look at the feeling of I need to protect my peace. You guys probably feel so like, do you just feel like I just did a word swap on you? I did actually a little bit. I did. But I heard protect your peace. But it is at the level of mind. The level of spirit says become the peace. And just like you start this journey and you're plugged into the motivational movement, and all of a sudden you're like over here and you're more into your spirituality, everything lives on a continuum. So I can share with you that deep self-love and appreciation, which we talk about often, looks like take your vitamins or something, right? Or it could mean like say no, even. There's so much overlap, right? And on the other end of the spectrum, it looks like become a vibrational match to your divine worthiness. So this all lives on this like beautiful continuum of becoming. So protect your peace speaks to the mind here, right? Right over here, it speaks to the mind. And this, oh, I don't want to be reactive. Let me see if I can jump into peaceful, becoming the peace that I already am, activating peace right here in my now gets to just to be my choice. Peace, protecting my peace. Oh, it's a lot of effort, isn't it though? Isn't it a lot of effort to protect your peace, to put that shield up, to push it out, to like la la la, right? So I want to shift that for you today. I want to give you some ways that we can not just protect peace, I'm gonna launch you way over here, ways that we can be peace, that we can have, be full of peace. What happens, you guys, when you activate the frequency of peace within yourself? What happens? Do you start to vibe higher? Do you start to become, a vibrational match to love and bliss and joy and uh, illumination on the Hawkins map of consciousness? Do you feel that how you, instead of like having the boundaries to push out, not that there isn't anything wrong with that, but we have this like peacefulness that we turn our attention to. And it's from this place we get to step into daily choice. We get to step into daily activation. You bring yourself to it on the cusp, right? For those of you that, sidebar, for those of you that haven't been hanging around for a while, the cusp equation is not only a place to bring yourself, we bring ourselves to the cusp of our dreams and desires with intention, but it's also a framework that we activate our magnetic center. So we'll talk a little bit about that. If come on over and join the group if you want to get immersed in that work. I've got lots to say. But I want to activate this from the inside because for as much as I hustled, I tolerated, I stressed, I overgive, I and burned myself right out, just like, burnout junkie. For as much as I did that, on the opposite side of that is this experience of like grounded, chosen, goddess infused peacefulness that I experience more and more every single day. And it is an evolution. It is an evolution. Most people don't put inner peace on their vision board, although I do have clients, one client in particular, it's emotional peace for her on her board. So I want you to think about like what kind of peace that you want to be holding and turn your attention to it right now in this red hot moment. Like if you could take the frequency of peace and infuse it, just literally, you could like infuse it into your energy. What would that feel like? So I want to help you like realize that you can get to it quickly. It doesn't mean that your stuff won't come up. It doesn't mean that you don't work on your self-love practice. It doesn't mean that you don't um, clear what needs clearing. It just means I become empowered to be in my most peaceful self right now. And I recognize that there's no amount of wall of the walls that will bring me peaceful, resonant peacefulness until until I morph into that on that continuum. So if someone came into my coaching practice, and I teach this in Goddess too, we talk about some of this, but if somebody walked into my coaching practice, I'd say, how are your boundaries? I have a client, we've been working on her boundaries for a very long time. They look different today. But if you walked in, I would like look at like, how are your emotional, psychological boundaries? And then we would morph. And I'm going to talk to you about that because it's like, what do I do here? Number one, we activate peaceful inside of ourselves, right? There it is. In the now. Feel me. Turn your attention to your heart for a minute. Ask your inner being to show you the peace that lives within you, the peace that is already there. And let that calm be an ignition point, a gateway. Because when we bring our spiritual selves together with our humanity, we're doing a dance, right? It's the yin yang, it's the infinity loop as it ebbs and flows. We need to live it and embody it so that it starts sticking with you guys. So I want you to do a couple things. Here's what to do. Here's one of the things. Like I said, this is a couple facets, but start thinking about those boundaries as energetic versus boundaries that you set. Okay? way back in the day, I decided I was going to do some boundary work. And I was, I don't know, 24, maybe. I was in my master's program for counseling and, studying therapy and yada, yada, all the things. I hadn't hit my coaching stride yet, but I had really great professors. And my one mentor was working with us on boundaries so that we could work with our clients on boundaries. That's how it goes. And like I said, it's a continuum. So we were here and like working over here on these boundaries that we set and our family boundaries. And we were drawing lines on like the boundaries we had with certain individuals and the boundaries that we chose, et cetera, et cetera. It was a very powerful exercise for me at the time. And I remember a friend of mine, we were walking through some kind of establishment, restaurant, bar, something, something, and he swatted me on the behind. And I was like, if you think I set a boundary, I was all cranked up. I turned around to him and I said, don't ever do that to me again, ever. And he was like, whoa, girl. And I'm like, I am not your girl, and that is not okay. And here's the thing, in the context of like life, I'm sure he was being funny, right? No harm here at all. But I was all up in my program. I was all up in deconditioning myself that I was going to not have boundaries in my life and I was going to start to speak them. So here was me over in my step one, very goddess, speaking my truth. And some of you, raise your hand if you have boundaries to set. Raise your hand. We start there. Yes, we start there. And here's the thing. We move into more as we do this work and we activate our magnetic center and we do self-love in the kind of way that we do it here. And we also step into that powerful, peaceful state of being, activating the peace that you actually are and that exists within you. It expands out. There is boundaries that look much more like I would call them energetic boundaries that you hold that you never have to speak again, truly. And there's a becoming in that, right? You can imagine that some people um, wouldn't dream of crossing. You can imagine, well, let me just say this. There's probably someone in your life or someone that you know of, you would never dream of being anything except kind and loving and respectful to. Like they hold an energetic emotional boundary. And there are some people that probably feel that way about you. But then there is also a part of us that can experience that those, what do I want to say, circumstances. I'm not going to call that a test because I don't really believe the universe tests you. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. But I do believe that we waver in our worthiness. And I do believe that energetic boundaries need to be tended to. And when we do, it's a vibrational match to protecting your peace. It's a vibrational match to protecting your peace. Somebody can come kind of unglued in my presence. And actually, this happened. I had an opportunity to practice this. Somebody was very upset that the 21 days was not being delivered via email. Somebody was very upset with me that that was not the case. And I was like, okay, I have an energetic boundary here. Like, okay, I respect that person's feelings, but there's not one part of me that was going to be manipulated or that was going to crash at the expense of myself for that, or anything else for that matter. And I'm not saying that life doesn't offer you big things, because life offers us big things. But when we come with grounded, energetic boundaries that we've been becoming, like, nobody puts baby in a corner kind of thing, all the way to I exude my energetic boundaries. And as I do, I activate this kind of personal power that comes from my unwavering worth, but my unwavering peace, if that makes sense. It's like this inner peacefulness. And yes, I'm out there living it. Yes, I'm out there living it because we are human. And while I would love to say that we get so good at this, we don't have those opportunities show up. But we will have opportunities show up because we are the living embodiment of the work that we're meant to become, the love that you are, the profound divine crystalline creator that you are. We are meant to be in the living embodiment of it. And so I would love for you guys to hang out with me, activate your magnetic center, and never have a bad thing ever happen show up in your life, or never have anybody come unglued in your experience. But I had an opportunity to hold my truth. I had an opportunity to say, wow, that would have ruffled me a couple of years ago, right? 7 years ago, that probably would have ruffled me. And what's really interesting, I had the same exact experience when I opened my Facebook group. Same identical experience. Somebody was so mad at me because I went on Facebook with my group. I almost actually fell over. I'm like, isn't this a vibrational match? And look how far I've come. And it's like, here's my emotional journey in it. This is the becoming. And what's really exciting is there's nowhere to go. There's only a becoming to be had. That's what I love about this work, you guys. So start thinking about not just the boundaries that you set, although if you need to set them, let's get to business. Let's get down to business because it's time. There is a place where protect your peace lives over here and be the embodied peacefulness that you are over here. It's the journey. It is why I have a group also called Evolution of You. Now we're on the cusp, right? But it's it's a becoming. It's a becoming. And you guys can see my becoming, right? Especially if you've been around a bit. So number two, tell me if this is resonating and tell me if this is helping because this is some of the deeper stuff that this is the real stuff. This is the real life stuff. So number two, yes, raise your hand. Tell me, tell me. So number two, all right. You raise your hand. Good. Thank you for participating with me. So I want you to start taking inventory. So we're going to start thinking about boundaries, but we're going to start then taking inventory, and we kind of are right now. Where am I leaking energy? This is really important. This is self-work. Oh, big time. Where am I leaking energy at the expense of myself? Anytime in my life that I have decided to make a huge vibrational shift, I have looked at where am I leaking energy at the expense of myself. If you are leaking energy at the expense of myself, at the expense of yourself, it's like clean up on aisle 5 kind of thing, right? It's like there is right? Like it's gold right there. And here's the thing, like I know that you know what's expensive for you because the energy leak comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. It's depleting you, it's scattering you, it feels like you can't catch a breath. You might have something you might need to let go and can't. You might have to make a change that you've meant to make for a really long time, but it's scary. I'm not here to have you like jump into big changes that you're not ready for. Lie. I'm here actually to hold a candle for you to change your life, whatever that takes if you want to. I can lead you guys to these changes, but I know what it takes to clean up the mess on aisle five and where you're leaking energy at the expense of yourself. So how does that relate to our peace? You can feel it, right? So if you're leaking energy and you're constantly giving yourself away instead of giving of yourself, and you're constantly at the expense of yourself, that if, I talk about it like this, that cup runs empty and you're constantly giving from an empty cup. So here you are giving at the expense of yourself from a cup that is not full to begin with. That's the self-love. We got to fill the cup. But what can we create from there? And is that a vibrational match to peace, or is that a vibrational match to chaos? Is that a vibrational match to peace, or is it a vibrational match to stress? Is that a vibrational match to peace, or is it a vibrational match to adrenal fatigue? Oh my God, I'm talking about myself, right? So there was a point at which I became okay with my adrenal fatigue. Like I was okay, just like dealing with it, right? And like giving myself just enough to like not have such an empty tank. Like I'm getting along. I had to put it into that. And I really had to step into the healing of my body so that I could give to myself emotionally by the lines that I was willing to draw, right? A big process, but I want you guys to look at this too. So start taking inventory. This is the work today for today. Where am I leaking energy at the expense of myself? And that's the clue. If it's at the expense, if it feels expensive, if it feels like it's draining you, there are ways um, to clean up aisle five. And if you guys want to like go deeper on coaching, like give me a message. I can help you do that. There are so many inroads to being able to like claim this power and get that back sooner than later. Yeah, sooner than later. Okay, so number three is start thinking about, we're already talking about this, but I want you to get very clear about, start thinking about ways I'm willing to, and I call this the divine show up plan, as it relates to like when I work with light workers, but it also is as it relates to like us on our seeker journey too. Wherever you're at, seeker, I always say I work with two people, seekers to light workers, and we're in between on this path of becoming. I want you to think about ways that you're willing to be in the divine show up plan for yourself. In the name of deep self love and appreciation, it's a vibrational match to protecting your peace, embodying your peace. Every single time I make a choice for myself to be in the divine show up plan for myself, I'm a vibrational match to peace. I'm a vibrational match to like that coherence that I seek. And when I'm coherent, I'm creating and I'm standing in my power. So we need to do these things to protect our peace. Like this is start thinking about ways that you're willing to show up for you, the divine show up plan. Oh my God, is that not self-love work? Yes, that is. That is self-love work. And at the end of the day, this whole conversation today is like, let's activate your magnetic center. What we talked about today is so steeped and so overflowing and infused with universal law. I mean, it's a whole nother conversation, but it's so infused with universal law, both in being able to see outside of yourself and see what the mind is doing, but also this work, these three things are steeped in laws. This is I teach in sequences. This is a mini sequence. This is a mini stack that when you practice it, you start to jostle yourself and wiggle yourself into like the highest emotional vibrational alignment of your magnetic center. There are so many inroads and so many facets to, and splitting the hairs, right? Vibrational hairs of getting to where we want to be. And I'm just going to say, if you feel the need to protect your peace, that means that you have noise. That means that you have split energy. That means you feel scattered. That means you don't feel whole. That means you're not putting yourself first. That means you're drained, all these things. And we've got to be like, I'm going to draw the line. At some level, we need to have the boundary that says, I'm the buck stops here. It's time to rise. I'm really good at rising energy, but what that rising energy is decision energy. It really is. Like I'm going to make the decision to protect my peace and embody peace on the continuum, no matter what it takes. I'm going to step into it. So, what do we talk about today, right? Let's just recap. We talked about that our mind believes that protecting your peace is about shutting out. It believes that peaceful is passive. It believes that um, peaceful is a place to get to. It believes that our peace is something to protect. When that's step one, but it's our peace is something to embody. And our peace is something that is on the flip side of an activated magnetic center, you guys. And it starts with simple actions like start thinking about your boundaries being energetic versus something that you just merely set. Although, please set them. Okay? Please set them. And then let's go deeper. Number two, start taking inventory. Where am I leaking energy at the expense of myself? And number three, start thinking about ways that you are willing to show up for you unwaveringly, unapologetically. This is how we create a massive movement of protecting our peace and being peace and being peaceful in a way that we're a vibrational match to the personal power, your most powerful self as a creator of your life. This is one of the ways that we can split the hairs of that and make the choice. So tell me what you're going to do today in the chat. Tell me what resonated with you and what you're really willing to, because it's a willingness journey too, right? Tell me what you're willing. Put it down, lay it down. Tell me what you're willing to put in motion today. I see some hand raises. That means you guys are willing. Who wants to put that in the chat? Like, tell me one thing you're willing to do today. You guys, you're raising hands. I love it. Okay. I'll take the votes. I'll take the votes. Yes. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. If I can help you and you want to go deeper, message me or type yes in the chat and I will be in touch. I'd love to explore with you about how I can help you take this becoming work to the next level, how we can create a true healing pathway for you that helps you stand in your power as a creator of your reality. Your time is now, and I really want to invite you to that. There is something glorious and beautiful about making that decision. We spin our wheels, I've been there, till we burn ourselves out, coming up for air. And sometimes it's just time, you know what I mean? And so if that feels like you, let's connect. Okay, I'm getting some of you guys. Okay. Charlotte, to clear clutter, create candles and bracelets, get outside and just do you today. Awesome. Jamie, today I'm going to work on my business to-do list, not because I have to, because I want to for myself. Everything else can wait. Rock on, ladies. And like, let yourself get real specific about it. And I do want to encourage you to allow yourself to be a little uncomfortable because this is hard work. Protecting your peace and becoming truly peaceful in the now as where peace is alive within you moment to moment and knowing that it's not something you have to chase or wait for or get to after the chaos settles, all of that. But really getting to that starts with the choice. Sandra, set boundaries. And on that note, set some boundaries today and lean into energetic boundaries. This is the me becoming me that I need to become so that I walk around as a loving force to be reckoned with because my peace is a vibrational match to that. It's a vibrational match to that. And that doesn't mean you're scary and fierce. It means that you're lovingly empowered and you've got it going on for yourself. So, okay. All right, with that said, you guys, this has been wonderful. Thank you for joining me for Live with Lori. I will see you next time. And until then, oh my gosh, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of, you're welcome. You're welcome. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.